this lesson we're going to take a short look at a very short little arpeggio exercise by Ferdinando Carulli that is an arpeggio exercise in A. Hence we have arpeggio exercise in A major. Now, the first thing you should do with any piece that you're going to read, and I just want to give you a couple of hints about it first, and then have you take a look at it first before I break it down, before I walk through it in the next segment. What you want to be able to have clear in your head with any song you're starting is the scale first. You should know the key signature of A, 3 sharps. You should play your A scale. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Continuing the next octave, A, B, C sharp, D, E. Moving into second position, F sharp, G sharp, A. And you should review chords that are going to be in the key of A as well. If we were just strumming them, we'd expect to see an A chord, a D chord, chord 4, and an E chord, chord 5. That's what a lot of these classical exercises, particularly arpeggio exercises, are. Many of them are based on only the primary chords, chords 1, 4, and 5, in the key. Now, taking a look at the music, you want to start recognizing notes that are, if you see a scale like we do in the last couple of measures, we just have the notes of an A scale. Here are the last 3 measures. A in the bass, and then our upper octave A scale, and then back down to the low A, descending there. So the last 3 measures are a really good place to start with this song to get your head and your hands in the key of A. And then when you see like what we have in the first measure, we see a lot of notes that are not on adjacent lines or spaces. That means they're thirds apart if you see space, 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 which is what we see in the first measure. And that usually means you're going to be playing notes of some chord. So I've given you enough hints. We just have it's a steady flow of 16th notes. Your right hand's going to be very simple. Thumb on that bass note, and I think we only have 2 bass notes in the whole thing. So this is a very easy exercise, but it's also just one to start getting a grip on recognizing notes that go together in chords and seeing them without having to figure out every note individually multiple times. So take a look at it, and I will walk through it in the next segment. I'm going to start with, well, kind of a continuation. I already did a little bit of what I would call the pre-flight check. But now we're going to take a look at it and see what we have from measure to measure before we actually try to play too much of it. Looking at the first measure, I see a set of 4 notes that are played 4 times. Very simple. It's going to be the same little 4-note pattern with the right hand, and the notes don't change. And hopefully you recognize that what we have there are notes out of an A chord. So how we finger it could be a couple of different possibilities depending on what we want to do. We'll get back to that in a second. Taking a look at the second measure, I see 3 notes. We want those notes to be on separate strings to follow the same pattern that we had in the first measure. So we notice that that first note, which is a B, is not going to be played open. We're going to want to have the B on the 3rd string. So we're just going to have another chord shape for a whole measure. We look at the 3rd measure, see another set of 4 notes. Couple open notes in there. Got to remember our key signature. One of them is not open.